Hello, I'm Daniela. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I transform chandelier crystals into Christmas gems. And these are beautiful and elegant, and depending on the paper you use to back them, you'll get a completely different look. This is a way to repurpose items or even purchase them. You can even find them with the Christmas supplies to make these gorgeous gems that you can hang on your tree or mantle or even in your window. I like to attach them to gift tags that I put on presents. I think it's a fun way to give a little extra gift with your gift giving. So let's get started with the video. So we're going to start by gathering our materials. To start with, I use these beautiful glass gems. They're called chandelier gems, and I get them on Amazon. They can be beveled or any shape you want, but just make sure the back is flat. Doesn't matter if the front is beveled, but the back has to be flat to get this technique to work. And again, you can choose any shape or size that you like. And then you'll need some beautiful paper. You can use scrapbook paper, you can use gift wrap, you can use decoupage paper. You'll need some isopropyl alcohol and some pads just to clean those gems. A pair of scissors and a pen. Your paper. And again, choose the paper that coordinates with your motif and your vibe and your colors of your home. You want to be mindful, whatever backing shows up on the paper is going to show up on your ornament. So if you have a paper that you really like, but you don't like the backing, make a photocopy of it. And that way the backing is clear. You also want to make sure that your images are small enough on the paper that they'll show up on the ornament that you choose, the particular shape of the gem. So just audition it out by testing where you put that gem on the paper so you can see the image that you have. I also use some dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and this is really good for working on glass. And then I have a little brush that I use alongside of it. So after you gather your supplies, you're going to want to take your gems, and if they have any of these little attached gems or pieces of jewelry or anything like that, you're going to want to remove them. All we want to work with is that flat gem. We don't want any rings or findings attached to it while we're creating our little decoupage. So usually they're made with a split ring. You can just take the ring apart, just pulling it gently aside and then twisting it off. And you'll want to do that with all of your gems. And this way they're ready to be used. Now if you buy these gems online, they come individually packaged. So make sure you take your time and prepare them all. After you have them out of the package, set aside any gems or findings that you're not going to use. Then take your paper and your pencil and figure out exactly where you want to place your gems. I do this ahead of time. It's a fun process. You find the exact part of the paper that you want to showcase on your gem. If you use paper with text, find the words that you really like. And if you have pattern paper, you might not even need the entire image. You can play around with the gem, finding just the right image you want to use. And it's all the better if your paper has a fun backing. But this is the process where you make the ornaments individual and your own. For these ornaments, I want them all to coordinate. So I'm going to take a bunch of complementary images, all the same color family, and then trace around them. I might take a few text as well because I just love throwing in text with my work. Again, I just trace around each of the crystals so that they're ready to be cut out. I find that if I trace around all of them and then cut around all of them together, it makes for a better result. Now you don't have to cut exactly around them. You can leave a little room around the gem and you can trim that off later. In fact, leaving a little space around the gem is probably better off. After you have your paper shapes cut out, now's the time that we're going to clean our glass ornament. Use alcohol on glass ornaments. If you're using an acrylic ornament, do not use alcohol. But for the glass ornaments, the alcohol cleans it beautifully. And even if the ornament looks clean, there could be some oils left on the glass. So you want to make sure you clean it off with this alcohol. You'll get rid of all the oils, and that way our pieces will stick. If there's any oils that remain, the paper won't stick. Once the ornaments are cleaned and the alcohol has evaporated from them, I just take a little Mod Podge and put it in a dish. I take my brush and brush it along each of the shapes that I created. And I do this one at a time, just so the Mod Podge doesn't dry. I want to make sure everything's kept clean and I don't touch the back of the ornament. So I pick it up by the sides and then I'll set it down right on that paper that has the Mod Podge, the glue on it. I'll make sure to burnish it lightly once I get it into the right position, and it will move around a little bit. And then I'll set it aside to dry. You have a little bit of give here, so you can play around with the exact position of the ornament. But once you have it where you want it, try not to touch it anymore. Just let it dry. And then I'll go and start working on my other ornaments. Again, putting a little glue on the paper, pressing the ornament into the glue, working it into the exact position, and letting it dry. And I'll do this with all 6 of the ornaments. Now once it's dry, the background won't look wet anymore. If you can't really tell, feel the background. If it's cold, it's not ready. You want it to be completely dry, room temperature, and ambient. And once it is, you're ready to continue. Now here you can see that my papers weren't the exact shape of my gems. They were close, but not perfect. So I'm just going to go around with a craft knife and cut little slivers of paper away from the gem. This step is optional, but it does make for a finished edge. So I'll just take my time, always keeping the blade away from my fingers, and cutting out the shape. Once I've done that with all of the ornaments, I'm ready to pierce the holes. I just take a sewing pin and I pierce the hole in the ornament so I can put the findings back on them. I'll take the pin, pierce it in the hole, move it around just to elongate that hole, and I might have to come back and do that again. And then I'll take the split ring, the finding, and just gently ease it apart. I'm trying to get enough room so that I can hook it around the ornament. And from there, I can just ease it into that hole. It takes a few tries, but it'll work. You just keep going until you get it started in that hole. Once you get it started, it's just a slight rotation to get that to fit perfectly. If it doesn't fit quite well, I'll take my pin and elongate that hole further. And then I'll just go back in. You don't want to force anything or bend any wires. Just take your time and work with it easily. And then I'll reattach the little crystal gems to all of the ornaments. And I have a beautiful result. I love how they coordinate, how some are text and some are Christmas images. Santa and Frosty, the word joy. I just think it's really cute. From here, I can add little hooks on it and hang it wherever I want, on my tree or my mantle, or even attach it to gifts. I think it looks so cute that way. So that's how I create these beautiful Christmas gems. I think they're so elegant. I love to use Christmas scrapbook paper, but you can use gift wrap or you can use any type of paper. It doesn't even have to be festive. You can really coordinate with your color scheme or your vibe. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. And please consider becoming a paid member of my channel. Thanks for joining me today.